Okay, I'm going to convene this meeting of the Gardner Planning Board. First item of business is approval of the minutes from March 22nd and March 29th.
Make a motion, Mr. Chairman, we approve the minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
What?
you haven't received them yet. We'll do it the next meeting. Approval minutes. I haven't gotten through them all yet,
Oh, all right.
so they're very, very lengthy.
My bad.
So we'll take them up at the next meeting.
No doing things.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. All right, so we'll disregard that motion. My call for a motion. All right, back to old business. We're going to be discussing and making our final recommendation to the City Council regarding certain zoning amendments. The first is 10891, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 675 thereof, entitled Zoning, to change the classification of certain parcels of land along Route 140. 10892, ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 675 thereof, entitled Zoning, to add sports betting to the zoning table of uses. And lastly, 10893, an ordinance to amend the Code of the City of Gardner, Chapter 675 thereof, entitled Zoning, to amend Section 1070 thereof, entitled Marijuana Establishments, to increase the quota allowed by the Code of the City of Gardner. All right, let's start with, from the top, 10891. I just wanted to say to the board, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this. Originally, I was a no vote in our preliminary recommendation, but after the joint public hearing and the public comment and the mayor's revised petition, I kind of found myself on the fence. I'm certainly in favor of economic development, but I'm still hung up on a few things regarding this petition. First of all is watershed. Proposing commercial parcels, new commercial parcels in close proximity to watershed. Is that something you can do? Yeah. Is it something you should do? I'm not so sure. Next, and that's related to these printouts that I asked Mr. Beauregard to provide for you. I was rooting around in the city GIS, and I see an issue with parcel M4724-1, which is the one on the north side of 140. The city GIS shows the parcel size to be 124 acres. And you'll see it here, partially shaded in orange, and there's a reason for that. Now, the small corner down there that's red, okay, that's watershed land, Zone C, that little corner. In the narrative of his petition, the mayor identified the entire parcel to be rezoned. However, a smaller portion of the parcel, about 57 acres, give or take, is shown on the map he included in his petition, the binder we got. So which is it, 124 or 50 odd acres? That needs to be nailed down, because right now we don't know. It's one or the other. And lastly, I wanted to talk about the open space plan, which marks those parcels as permanent open space, which is 24, and I think the other one's 47-22-1. The mayor's assertion that the open space plan isn't a binding law or ordinance, well, that's correct. He's right. But the plan exists to guide how we protect and manage city-owned designated open space. It's been voted on and accepted by the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, the City Council, and it's been accepted and endorsed by previous administrations. I feel that as such, it should at least carry some weight in these discussions. I can't endorse simply dismissing it when its strictures are inconvenient to another goal. And frankly, I'm not terribly comfortable setting a precedent that an administration can potentially point to when it decides that some other piece of open space needs to be sold, especially when we have so much infill left to do. And those were my thoughts, guys. Can open it to debate, discussion, tell me I'm crazy. Any particular thoughts you'd like to get out in the open? Any further information or data?
Didn't we already send our recommendation up to the council?
Yeah. And
But
then
it
we
wasn't
went
a
to-
final recommendation.
This is,
right?
yeah, for folks that might be watching who don't know, a petitioner goes to the city council and says, I have a parcel of land that's currently zoned rural residential 2. I want to change it to commercial 2 because of A, B, C, D. City council says, thank you very much, takes the petition, sends it straight to us for review and comment. That's our preliminary recommendation. Then comes a joint public hearing with the city council and us, get public comment, interested parties speak, the petitioner makes his pitch. Then it comes back to us again for final recommendation. Then, after we're done tonight, it goes back to the city council and they take a vote on it, one way or the other. Were you about to say something? Did I cut you off?
You said exactly what I was gonna say, Mr. Chairman. Well
Okay.
done.
Thank you. It took me years to learn that.
Me too.
I'd like to consider a reconsideration of a vote that we took. Again, I'm in favor of keeping the land as natural as possible. But again, we have very few areas in this city for development. And as the mayor has said, with the growth that we've gotten internally in the last couple of years, and it still continues to grow, it's slowing down a little bit. We have open land, we have other companies that are interested, I have no idea what type. I think he alluded to at one time there was a hotel or something. I don't know if we could stand another hotel, but an opportunity presents itself to change the classification of some property within the city for increased development within the city for business. And I think we ought to take that opportunity and vote in the affirmative to change it to commercial too. There are other rules and regulations within the city. There are other boards that even still the planning board or the zoning board, the conservation commission, all those still will probably have a severe play in probably approving or not approving an opportunity that might come about if we did change the classification of that property. So by not doing anything, just say no, flat no, I think that's a disservice to the city in doing that. And I'm just saying, well, at least hopefully tonight we'll have more discussion and maybe we can hear from some of the citizens about,
No, we already
it's not
had
a public meeting.
No, it's not a public meeting.
But I just want to convey that I think the board ought to change their mind and change it to commercial too. That's my 2 cents.
No, I appreciate your input and I appreciate your position. How do you reconcile opening up open space that's been used for recreation for a long time to potential commercial development? How do you reconcile that with the parcels we already have that haven't yet been developed? What comes to mind is what comes to mind is Garboose. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
what, 30 acres, something like that?
Yeah,
Oh, it's 10.
10 with a contiguous 10 acres of S-Pen. It's like 20 acres total.
yes, and Garboose that's total of
20.
20.
Both of
With
them
the-
together on that, yeah, on one side.
Yeah, well, we had a marijuana agricultural company that wanted to come in and take over the Spent one. That's what, over 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's
Almost
not-
4 years ago?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
So it's passed on.
It's back in the market.
And then across the street as well.
Yeah, and that's available land for development that's already zoned. That's where I get, and I'm not dismissing your position, that's where I get hung up. We already have commercial land available for infill, rather than going out
I agree with
and
that.
taking out more. So, that's where I'm at. Mr. Cormier?
Mr. Chairman, I believe after hearing testimony of open meetings and what we've had discussion tonight and previous, I'm still I believe that this land should remain as it is now. We've had it for so many years, it abuts our water supply. It's a jewel, something that we'll never get back again. And to have that gone into commercial at this time, I don't believe is the right way to go. I think we should definitely look for other economic ways of bringing it into the city, maybe another parcel someplace, but this is just, I can't go along with it.
Mr. Paul Cormier.
Yeah, my opinion hasn't changed either on this matter. I mean, we've heard what I said the last meeting, public meeting, and the other meeting we had. So with Mr. Cormier over here, I believe we should leave as is. So that's my opinion on this.
Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm like you, I'm on the fence. We don't need more commercial land, I don't believe,
Why is that?
because we already have
Yeah, but it's not,
parcels that aren't being used.
depending on the type of business, whatever that may be, it's, 140 is a major thoroughfare going through the city, and that's why probably somebody would like to develop there as opposed to Garboose and the Bent property. So it's for the traffic that goes through there, that's the reason. They have to make it available, or should make it available, for types of business that depend on a great deal of traffic. Whatever that business might be. Actually thinking about a hotel, well, we have a hotel, why do we need another one? Well, somebody maybe feels that Gardner needs another one. It's on the border of Winchton. Winchton doesn't have any, to my knowledge, other than a few bed and breakfasts. That's about it, so
No, they don't.
that might be a reason. And they'll build on the Winchton side on our property.
Yeah, I don't know if the mayor's in, I'm not in his confidence. I don't know if he's in
I'm not
discussions
either.
with anybody or, or if
I'm
it's a
just wondering-
hypothetical or if it's just bait.
What he said on his
I don't know.
presentations of what had happened, the possibility of one or two different hotel chains, one of them were interested in it. There's a lot of
Well,
other,
Mr. Chairman, I mean, we can go back and forth there. I suppose I would like to make a motion then.
Yeah, I don't want to, if we're all debated out.
I mean, we can keep going on. So I make a motion that we leave ordinance 10891, recommendation that we do not change, leave as is.
All right, so your motion is that our final recommendation in the matter of 10891, ordinance to amend the Code of City of Gardner entitled zoning, change the classification of certain parcels of land along Route 140, the two of them that it is now. Our final recommendation is that the city council not make the zoning change. Is that correct, sir?
That's my motion, yes, sir.
All right, do we have a second?
I have a second.
We have a second. Is there any other discussion before we take our vote?
Do we have anything to say?
It's not a public meeting, sir. Very well. By the roll, Mr. Schwartz, please.
no,
Mr. Betez.
No,
All right, your no vote means you disagree with this motion.
yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Cormier?
Yes.
Mr. Cormier?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. So by majority vote, the recommendation on 10891 of the planning board is that the city council not make zoning changes to the parcels of land along Route 140. All right, next up is 10892, which is sports betting. We all voted in the affirmative on that last time, about adding that to the zoning table of uses, and sports betting is now legal in the Commonwealth. Should something come along, we would have appropriate zoning. And I believe also we had made the stipulation that we would like to see that by action of special permit through the planning board. I believe we had said
Yes.
that.
Yes.
at least till, it becomes part of the landscape like marijuana dispensaries are now. Has there been any further thoughts or research or anything, other discussion on that? In that case, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, we recommend the ordinance change, the amendment code on 10892,
Second.
For an affirmative.
into the affirmative.
Okay, a motion made and seconded that our final recommendation to the city council is that they amend the code of City of Gardner entitled zoning to add sports betting to the zoning table of uses. Your yes vote means you agree with that motion. Mr. Schwartz?
Yes.
Mr. Patet?
Yes.
Mr. Cormier?
Yes.
Mr. Cormier?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. All right, number 3 is 10893, the ordinance, Chapter 675, et cetera, zoning to increase the quota allowed by the code of City of Gardner. And we discussed that before during our preliminary recommendation. We were all in favor of that. Has there been any further thoughts or feelings?
I make a motion, we leave our original recommendation as is.
All right, motion made. Do we have a second?
Second?
Very good. Motion made and seconded.
To recommend approval.
Recommend approval. Make that clear, thank you. That the city council amend section 1070 zoning entitled marijuana establishments to increase the quota allowed by the code of the city of Gardner. Once again, by the roll, Mr. Schwartz?
Yes.
Mr. Patez?
Yes.
Mr. Cormier?
Yes.
Mr. Cormier?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. Okay, before you go today, we have to sign the registry of deeds, recording of plans, the form we have to sign every year. Next meeting will be Tuesday, May 9th at 6:30 PM. And we have a tentative site walk. Has that been nailed down?
It has, I sent the email out this evening, it's gonna be next
20th.
Thursday, the
Next
20th,
3 o'clock.
at 3 PM.
Thursday.
In the afternoon,
3 PM for the Concord
site
Crossing
walk.
site walk.
yeah, off of Clark Street.
Yep.
And we'll reconvene here about an hour and a half later to have a working session with the developer.
Okay.
What date is that?
20th.
Next Thursday, the
Next
20th.
Thursday at 3 PM?
Yeah.
We'll meet there on Clark Street.
We'll meet, I'll let you know where, we should, we'll probably meet off of, the,
Century Way.
thank you.
Was it
Century Way.
online?
Yeah, so-
I
There's
just saw
not much,
two.
there's not much parking on Clark Street there, so.
Yeah,
What came in today?
Oh.
Very good. Any further business, gentlemen? Anything further from staff?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Right on cue.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion?
I don't know what you guys did without me.
We sat here for hours. Aye, voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None heard? Motion carries. Thanks, everyone.